From Group 1 will present the result of our assignment. Before we start our presentation, I will introduce our group member. I will start with the leader of our group is Shen, and the second one is Faiz Irfan, followed by Siti Nurbaya, and lastly by myself is Muhammad Amirul Ridwan. Before we start, I want to ask you all which one is projectile motion between three animation. So the first animation is impulse, second is projectile motion, and third rotational motion. So our group member will perform how horizontal projectile motion works. Next, our group member will perform how oblique projectile motion works.
What is projectile motion? Projectile motion is the motion of an object thrown or projected into the air when, after the initial force that launches the object, air resistance or frictional force is negligible, and the only other force that object experiences is the force of gravity. The object is called a projectile, and its path is called its trajectory. In a projectile motion, there are two simultaneous independent rectilinear motions, consisting of or moving in a straight line or lines. The first one is along the x-axis. It is in uniform velocity. It's responsible for the horizontal or forward motion of the particle. Number 2 is along the y-axis. It is in uniform acceleration. It's responsible for the vertical or downward motion of the particle.
Discovery of projectile motion.
So we're moving on to the discovery of projectile motion. So originally it was founded by Galileo Galilei, which used a grooved plane inclined at a small angle to the horizontal. The matter sphere was released from a point on the inclined plane, elevated some distance above ground level, and allowed it to roll off the end and completed a free trajectory. As a result, Galileo observed that a smooth ball rolling on a smooth surface would roll to the height from it was rolled, regardless of angle of incline of the ramp. He reasoned that it must behave this way because whatever caused it accelerate down the slope also caused it decelerate up the ramp.
Types of projectile motion. We have horizontal projectile motion, oblique projectile motion in inclined plane. Horizontal projectile motion is a projectile is launched with an initial horizontal velocity from an elevated position and follows a parabolic path to the ground. Projectile motion on inclined plane is an inclined projectile motion is when the fire projectile lands off an inclined plane where its inclination angle is between 0 and 90 degrees. Oblique projectile motion, also known as angular projectile motion. The initial velocity of the body is making an angle with the horizontal. The angle made by the initial velocity with the horizontal is greater than 0 degree and greater than 90 degree. Equation of projectile motion. The equation of projectile motion basically is referring the equation in linear motion. It's divided into two parts, which is horizontal component and vertical component. This is the final derivation for projectile motion. Example of projectile motion in real life. In sport, we have motorcycle stunt and javelin throw or throwing spear. In daily life, we have throwing rubbish and watering plants. In military system, we have cannon and super gun. In projectile motion, we also have baseball and explosion of volcano as an example. That is the ending for our video. Thanks for your watching.